Moving on from there, but speaking about large corporations, the Pentagon announced that it will be canceling its $10 billion JEDI cloud contract that it had awarded to Microsoft in 2019. To which Amazon stock kind of exploded yesterday. It flew like 5% and hit an all-time high after this news came out. I mean, and even today it's still doing pretty well. I mean, it blew another 1%. But the point is, the news was a positive news. Now your question is going to be like, yo, what is JEDI and why is it important for us to know what JEDI is? Well, JEDI is the Joint Enterprise, where is it? It's the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure deal, and it has been one of the most tangible contracts for the DoD. In a press release Tuesday, the Pentagon said that due to evolving requirements, increased cloud conservancy, and industry advances, the JEDI cloud contract no longer meets its needs. Like I said earlier, Microsoft actually closed down yesterday and Amazon exploded to a 52-week high. This is actually a wrong number. It actually blew up to 5%. But right after the announcement came up, it exploded 3.5%. But it hit a new 52-week high regardless. So why was this a big deal? This is a $10 billion contract. That's why it's a big deal. Microsoft was going to get this contract by itself, but now the DoD is deciding to open up the doors and allow other people to bid for the contract. So here's a quick backstory of what happened with this contract. Shortly after the contract was awarded to Microsoft, Amazon started suing the DoD. Amazon was like, yo, this ain't fair. Something not right is going on. Now remember, Amazon owns AWS and Microsoft owns Azure. And the JEDI infrastructure was supposed to be able to help the DoD, Department of Defense, to build out their cloud computing services, to help them take over all of that information. But after the bidding war and everything went through, they picked Microsoft Azure. As you guys know, I love Microsoft. Microsoft is one of my biggest holdings. I love that company a lot. But they picked Microsoft, and then Amazon was like, no, something fishy is going on here. And they accused, which let me read it straight up, they accused the Trump department or the Trump administration of getting in the way and interfering with the bidding process because Donald Trump does not like Jeffrey Bezos. You know why? Because Jeffrey Bezos owns the Washington Post, and the Washington Post does not exactly write nice things about Donald Trump. So when the bid was awarded, when the contract was awarded to Microsoft, Amazon was like, something is not right. So they sued, and then it's been in court for the last 2 years. And so since that point, the DoD was like, yo, we can't even move forward. We can't even change anything. And so now they're like, you know what? We're going to just go ahead and cancel this contract and do something, a whole new thing to get this thing built up and actually start moving in a new direction. So rather than going with just one company, they will be opening up the build to multiple different companies, including Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Oracle as well. All of them will have a chance to bid to show that they have the capability of being able to hold everything that the Pentagon needs to build out their cloud infrastructure. However, that's not even like the worst part of listening to this. The saddest part of this whole thing is the name JEDI contract is being changed. That's like the worst part of this whole thing. The new contract is going to be called the JWCC, which is the Joint Warfighter Cloud Capacity Contract, which, I mean, it's cool, but I prefer JEDI. I really like the name JEDI contract. Like, that's the one thing that I really am not happy about them changing, but everything else is kind of like, it's going to be cool. As they say in this article, it says, the Pentagon expects the JWCC to be a bridge to our longer-term approach, Sherman said. He said the department expects to make direct rewards through the contract around April 2022 and open a broader competition as soon as 2025. So we won't really see the end of this for another 5 or so years before we start seeing who gets awarded the contract. But we can go ahead and guarantee that Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Oracle are going to be part of the system to build out the new infrastructure for the government. Now, it's kind of sad because as a Microsoft shareholder, when this news came out, it was like explosive. I was like, $10 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to be getting from one contract for a number of years. So now it's being split up into multiple parts. And a lot of people are saying this is what it needed to be in the first place, because why should one company building out the entire infrastructure? We need that to be spread out to multiple different companies so that multiple people can build out a safe infrastructure, so that when one goes down, it's not like it's GG game over. You have other safety nets and all those kind of things. So each company can be a backup to the other company and those kind of things. However, for tech companies, they like everything to be directly integrated. They want control of every single part of it, because when you have complete and total control, you can make sure that you're covering all your bases without having to go to somebody else and ask those questions and all those kind of things. But regardless, that's the direction that we are going in. Now, moving on from there, let's talk about the economy. And we had awesome news when it came to the... I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of the Rambling Mind podcast. If you want more of the Rambling Mind podcast, or if you want to listen to the whole episode that you just heard, go check it out on any podcast listening platform, whether that be Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher. I could go on, but you guys already know which podcast you love to use to listen to. So go check it out. Link down in the description as well. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.